we are very pleased to have Norma Treese from YachtAid Global joining us at the moment. I know that your time is very limited and very short. You were in the middle of massive preparations to help with the Hurricane Dorian relief that is going on at the moment. What is it like? You're in Florida, correct?
Yes, I am. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale, and fortunately, we have escaped the worst of the hurricane effects. Personally, my husband and I have our properties already secured several days ago, and we didn't even need that. However, as I just told you, while we've been talking, I've had two coconuts fall down from a very large tree that we have in our backyard, and the last thing you want is something like that hitting you in the head. So even being outside the cone, we are seeing the effects of wind and rain here, but that's nothing compared to what's happening in the Bahamas and what is likely to hit the mainland U.S. A little bit further north of us in Florida late tonight.
Well, you kind of dodged a bullet there because they were saying that Fort Lauderdale was sort of in the eye at one stage, weren't they?
Yeah, a couple of days ago, we thought that we were going to get a direct hit, and that's why not just ourselves, but most of our neighbors responded really quickly, and that's a good thing to see because it's easy to become complacent and say, "Oh, we've always dodged a bullet; it's never hit us here." But you never know. As easily as yesterday, it could have made just a very slight turn, a couple of degrees, and come ashore here. But it didn't. And you're right, we did dodge a bullet, but it's always best to be prepared. And, a lot of people, as I said, tend to forget that and not take it that seriously. But people have responded very, very well to this. And it's good to see that emergency services are up and running. I saw FP&L trucks out on the road today, going around and looking for dangerous branches and so on. And of course, taking down power lines is one of the worst effects. But again, nothing compared to what's going on in the Bahamas and what can happen further north here in the United States. So we feel very fortunate.
Now, what is YachtAid Global doing at the moment? I mean, you guys, excuse me, are getting very prepared at the moment, are you not?
YachtAid Global, just let me give you a little background. We have been operating for 14 years, providing both disaster relief as well as ongoing humanitarian aid, not just for disasters, but also for areas in chronic need. And you can take a look at that at our website at yachtaidglobal.org. We have a lot of ongoing missions. Operation Beagle in the Galapagos Swimway in Baja, and we're adding more, long-term operations as we go. Regarding Hurricane Dorian, we started about a week ago with specific actions. We're calling it Operation Topaz. And we already have a lot of resources ready to deploy. We have a yacht named Loon, which is Christensen, which is currently in Nassau. And she has been fully briefed and is aware of what's required. And as soon as she's allowed to leave port, she'll be making headway towards the Abacos, which is in the northern Bahamas and the area most seriously impacted. We have a rapid response team that is leaving Miami shortly. They've already tried yesterday to make landfall in the Bahamas. And as you know, the airports were completely flooded. And so we expect to be able to get them on island as of late today or tomorrow. And they will be in a position to directly assess what the needs are, both the immediate needs, and that would be life-saving medical requirements, evacuation if necessary and possible. So we'll be able to assess that, and then we'll be able to deploy the many, many yachts we have that have volunteered. We're extremely careful about our resources and making sure that appropriately, we have a pipeline that we have developed and worked with for a long time. Our disaster aid relief work has been most prevalent in the past in Vanuatu and then in the Caribbean. And I'd like to think that we have been very successful and helpful in what we've done. But what's really important at this point for us is to make sure that we are responding appropriately and using the resources that we have in the best way possible. And without alienating any of our supporters, making sure that we're not taking on more than we can handle or is appropriate for the type of aid that we can provide.
Well, the one thing
also
I think
very interestingly.
Sorry, one thing that everybody learned, I think, in the wake of Irma and Maria was that, everybody has their heart in the right place, of course. We all want to help. We all want to do what we can. But donating all of your old clothes, a pair of flip-flops isn't going to help. There is a necessity for certain things. And that's why it's really important to go to an organization such as yours that has their feet on the ground, that knows exactly what's needed, whether it be nails, whether it be hammers, whether it be winter coats or whatever. But to make sure that the aid that is going is aid that is necessary.
Exactly. Well, winter coats is hardly likely to be the need immediately, and that's for sure. No, definitely, you're absolutely right, Rhea. What's needed the most generally is the first need is evacuation, medical attention, and water. And we have a vessel, a medical ship called Pacific Hope that is leaving either today or tomorrow from the Dominican Republic that will be on site as of this weekend. They can produce something like 20,000 gallons of water per day. They have thousands of pounds of food on board that they're going to be able to feed the population. And they can take 300 to 400 evacuees aboard. So we think that that's going to be a great resource. And we are currently working with a number of groups and companies that want to donate things like medical personnel and supplies. But frankly, that is, again, something that has to be handled absolutely correctly. We definitely do not want to use any of the resources on island, nor do we want to be a hindrance. And while a lot of people want to volunteer, it's very romantic and courageous of people to want to go to the island and save lives. The reality is, if they're not trained for that, they can do a lot more damage. So we're really thankful to the yacht community that has already responded very well. We have set up a special donation line that's available at YachtAidGlobal.org for Hurricane Dorian and assistance in the Northern Bahamas. What's happened there, they're talking about 13,000 homes that have been destroyed. There's something like 25,000 people that live on the islands that are affected. So in an ideal world, we'll be able to respond and be very, very effective. But this is not something for a knee-jerk reaction, and at YachtAid Global, we have a very specific focus. We want to make sure that we, so that's where we are today.
Well, and what would you say to those people? I mean, I've seen a lot on social media straight across the board. I mean, everybody, like I said, has their heart in the right place, but a lot of boats are saying, and yachts themselves, oh, we're going to head on over there. But I mean, you don't know what's in the water. You don't know how to get there safely. You don't know if there is even safe harbor at the moment. So it's not wise to be jumping on board your boat or your yacht and heading over with whatever you can, throw onto the boat, because you might end up needing emergency rescue yourself, which takes away from those that really need.
That's exactly right. And you've made my point for me. And that the reality is that, of course, we understand that everybody wants to help. And, what we're getting a lot of requests for right now is donations of materials. Until we know exactly what it is we need and how we can get it there, we're not looking for that at this point. For us at this point, whether what we're going to need to be supplying is, construction materials in the long term, whether we're going to actually be able to get approval from the Bahamian government. And that's a big point about yachts that want to head over there on their own. They do have to have specific approval from the Bahamian government. And that's a process. And we're working on that right now. You need to have not only a memorandum memorandum of understanding, an MOU that authorizes you, but that needs to be vetted, and you need to have the documentation from the Bahamian government. Otherwise, you will be turned back and cause more of a problem than you can help with. So, I'm not trying to sound like Debbie Downer, and neither are we, waiting in our response. We just want to make sure that we understand exactly what is needed and deploy the resources that we have in the most efficient, best way possible. Understanding that there's going to be a lot of people that want to do what they can. As far as donations of materials go, we're working with Global Empowerment out of Miami, and they are putting together supplies, and we will be getting supplies from them. I do know that a number of yachting organizations, wonderful groups like National Marine, for instance, has a number of vessels and a lot of materials already on hand. So they are certainly resources, and we will be working with them as well. But, we like to make sure that that we can handle what we have on our plate, and that we render the best assistance possible as efficiently as possible. And as soon as we have more information, we'll be posting it on our Facebook page.
Seems we have lost a little bit of connection there with Norma in Florida. I'm not sure if that's going to come back up or not, but I think the point being is that the best bet is to sit back and wait until everything is clear on what's going on. And actually, she's just messaged me, and she said that they've lost power. So, of course, it's expected. And like I said, like she was saying, the best bet is to donate money. You can go to the YachtAid Global. They're doing a fundraiser. When you donate the money to them, what they can do, what it enables them to do, is then go and purchase products in bulk. It makes it easier to ship. It makes it easier to take. So I would definitely recommend doing that if your heart's in that place. And as she did mention, don't be jumping on a boat or a yacht and heading over there, because more than likely you're going to be turned back. You won't be allowed into harbor. And you might actually create more of a problem than they actually need at the moment, and take away from the rescue efforts of those that are on the ground. So thank you very much. And I thank Norma for taking the time, and I hope she does get power quickly, because they are very, very busy making sure that Hurricane Dorian is, the disaster relief is taken care of. So this has been Ria Live for Yachting International Radio. And do please head on over to YachtAid Global and donate what you can. Wait, she is back. Just a minute.
So now I'm on my iPhone, which is able to connect to the ether. So
no worries. I was going to carry on without you, but now you're back. I'm glad. I was just saying that the best bet is to donate money, because that enables not only the purchase of products that are actually in need in bulk, so that, it becomes cheaper, and specifically what is needed then when there is cash available.
Absolutely. You understand fully what the situation is, and I really appreciate it. We do have a page up at YachtAidGlobal.org, and we are accepting donations currently. And as I said, we've got our resources in place, and we are ready to make a direct type of assistance to the islands as soon as our rapid response team is on island, on location, and can give us a report of exactly what is needed. And we will have regular updates on our Facebook, Instagram, and on our website of the exact situation as soon as we know better.
Wonderful. Well, I've provided a link on the interview itself. And as well, I will make sure that and I've been sharing all of your posts throughout for the last 3 days. So I will continue to do that. We are here for you, whatever you may need. If you need to reach out and ask for anything specifically, please do feel free to contact us, and we will go live again and make whatever pleas that you need for whatever you need. And we wish you all the best of luck. in the next few days or the next week. I mean, I know this process isn't going to be over overnight. This is going to be a long process. I mean, we saw that already with Hurricane Maria and Irma. It's, you know, it's still ongoing.
Exactly.
So I'm sure it's going to continue for a few years.
That is the point. You know, there's what they say is, you know, 3 pillars of emergency response, and you know, we're in the first, which is emergency, and then we have you know, ongoing, and then rebuilding is the longest term. And so, you know, and that's one place in which the yacht community has been extremely responsive and extremely supportive. And that's probably the place where we can have the greatest effect. And as we know, the Bahamas are beloved in the yacht community. You know, certainly myself and in my own yachting career, and it being right in my backyard, so to speak, you know, love the Bahamas, the Abacos in particular. And you know, we really look forward to doing the best that we can. And thank you very much for your support. We certainly do appreciate it, and keep an eye out for the updates. And I just got an urgent call coming in on the other line, so I'm going to have to love you. And
no worries.
Thank
you so much, Norma. Take care, and good luck to all of you.
You too. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. We wish Norma and the team at YachtAid Global the best. And as I said, we'll continue to update you right here on Yachting International Radio. And if they do have any urgent updates or any urgent requests, we will make sure to bring you that information right here on Yachting International Radio. Thank you for tuning in. This is Ria.